Hello and welcome back to Microbial Concepts. So this is another video for Viva questions. So topics like PCR, electrophoresis, spectrophotometer and UV-transilluminator all are combined here. Okay, this is on request video. So I had made a combined video for all these topics. Okay, so let's start. First is Viva questions on PCR and types of PCR. Okay, so these are common questions. Okay, and I had not focused on each and every type of PCR. Okay, so you may get questions like PCR is developed by, or who developed PCR, then what is the role of Taq polymerase, or Taq polymerase is obtained from what, then what are the steps of PCR, what is the first step of PCR. Okay, then you may get questions on what are the temperatures for each step of PCR, right? Then the process of binding of primer to the denatured strand of DNA is called what? So here you need to know which or what every step uh, or what each and every process in the PCR, what happens actually in the cycle. Okay, so depending on that knowledge, these are some questions which I had listed out. Okay, so the process of binding of primer to the denatured strand is called, so the step is annealing. Okay, so what is the basic purpose or what is the function of PCR? Okay, so this is also a very common question, or a common question for types of PCR as well. Okay, why to use RT-PCR, or why to use, or what is the function of nested PCR, right? Then next is temperature of denaturation is, okay, or temperature of annealing is, right? Then why it is called as chain reaction, polymerase chain reaction. Okay, then obvious is principle of PCR. So principle of each and every type of PCR can come in Viva questions. Okay, so what are different types of PCRs? Then what is the difference between uh, PCR and RT-PCR, or qPCR, nested PCR and RT-PCR? Okay, so you may have a distinguishing question that what is difference between this type of PCR and a normal or native PCR. Okay, then what is nested PCR, or what are the disadvantages of this particular type of PCR? Okay, then what are advantages, what are the applications of PCR, or what are the applications of qPCR, or how it is used in forensics. Okay, or yeah, what are the disadvantages again? Then how many DNA duplex are obtained after completing 4 cycles or after completing 5 cycles? Okay, so this is where you may need to calculate a bit. Okay, you should know what are the steps of PCR, and in one cycle how many DNA duplex you obtain. Okay, so depending on PCR and types of PCR, these are some common questions which I listed. So next is electrophoresis. So these are some questions which I had listed for Agarose Gel Electrophoresis, polyacrylamide and SDS polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis. Okay, so the common and mostly asked is what are the principles of these types, then applications of Agarose gel electrophoresis or page and SDS page, then what are the types of electrophoresis. Okay, so these are commonly used and commonly taught in theories. Okay, then you may get questions like advantages of each type, then what are the disadvantages of each type. Okay, then what is the difference between page and SDS page. Okay, then role of SDS page in SDS, sorry, role of SDS in SDS page. Okay, then page is used to separate what, protein or DNA. Okay, or to analyze your sample, uh, you don't know the sample contains which protein or how much protein, then which of the following electrophoresis will you perform. Okay, these kind of questions, right? Then in case of gel preparation also you may get a question like in page the gel is made up of what. Okay, so it is made up of ammonium persulfate and bis-temid, right? So these are some basic questions. In case of agarose you use buffer, so what strength the buffer has, okay, which is used to make or melt the agarose. Okay, then in case of electrophoresis also we use the running buffer, so the strength of running buffer. Okay, then difference between ladder and marker. Okay, so we use marker or ladder to compare our results, correct? So there is difference between both ladder and marker. You go and find it out, because this is also a commonly asked question, right? Then next is DNA moves towards which electrode, anode or cathode. Okay, the separation of proteins depends on what? Okay, then next is if samples are loaded at anode or cathode, samples are loaded at anode or cathode in case of AGE page and SDS page. Then next is difference between tracking die and loading die. Okay, then role of buffer, then strength of buffer, 1x or 5x buffer is used, and last is how results are visualized. Okay, so the answer is here, one is loading die, one is tracking die. Okay, so then we use a fluorescent staining dye for visualization. Okay, so you should know the difference between all these three dyes. Okay, so this was about electrophoresis. The next is about spectrophotometer and UV-transilluminator. Okay, so in case of spectrophotometer, in case of Viva questions, you may have a question like principle, then what is the range of UV, what is the range of visible spectrum, then use of spectrophotometer. Okay, then you should know the basic diagram of spectrophotometer, where the monochromator is and what is the function of monochromator. Okay, and detector. Okay, then next is spectrophotometer, it directly measures what? Okay, then are there any disadvantages for UV visible spectrophotometer? Then what are the advantages, and which cuvettes to be used, quartz, plastic or glass? Okay, even this depends on your sample, so you should know. If you are working regularly with spectrophotometer, then you should know which cuvettes to be used when. Okay, so this is about spectrophotometer. And next is, and last, that is UV transilluminator. Okay, so this is actually related to electrophoresis, because we used UV transilluminator to uh, have your results, to visualize your results after doing staining, correct? So what is the range of UV which is used in UV transilluminator? So roughly it falls say 310 to 350 nanometers. Okay, remember, you can find the answer on internet. Then what is the use of UV transilluminator? Okay, then a fluorescent dye staining is compulsory to view your results under UV transilluminator. Is it compulsory or not? Okay, and which dyes are used? Okay, for staining your gel, for proteins which dyes are used, and for DNA which fluorescent dyes are used. The next is what safety measures one should take while using UV transilluminator and why is that? Okay, then next is which dye one can use to stain DNA, RNA samples in electrophoresis. So ethidium bromide or SYBR are generally used, but they are carcinogenic, so you need some safety precautions to be taken. Okay, so these are some questions for UV transilluminator, spectrophotometer, electrophoresis and PCR. This was all about today's topic. So thank you for watching this video. Do like these videos, share these videos with your friends, and do subscribe to my channel. Okay, and comment below, right? If you want videos on some other topics, mention that in comment box, or you can reach out to me on Gmail also. Okay, thank you.